After the 3-year time skip, Boruto returned with multiple new abilities, one such being his supposed mastery over Purple Lightning, which is a variant of Chidori. Now the reason why I'm making this video is because there seems to be some misconception around the strength of this specific technique as opposed to the other forms of lightning transformation. This was especially shown when my most recent poll showed that most of my community believes that Purple Lightning is the strongest form of lightning release, which isn't true. That title actually belongs to Black Lightning. Now to understand why Black Lightning is the strongest form of lightning release and also why Boruto might be able to attain it, we first need to understand what lightning release is. You see, lightning release falls under nature transformation, which is a type of chakra manipulation where a ninja gives their chakra the properties of one of the 5 elements, which in essence would be water, fire, wind, lightning, or earth. Now naturally, as it is with every single power system, the greater the mastery over an element, the more efficient and powerful that elemental ninjutsu would be. With that said, when it comes to lightning release specifically, this is created by forcing one's chakra to vibrate at the highest speed and volume to create as much lightning chakra as possible in a single instant. This is actually why lightning based techniques tend to move really fast due to the speed at which the chakra needs to vibrate in order to create it. Now this part is actually really important since it really delves into why you have different forms of lightning release that possess different levels of power, which is often indicated by their color. So first of all, we're going to start with Chidori, which was actually created by Kakashi himself while he was trying to master the Rasengan. Now this form of lightning chakra manipulation is often shown to be blue in color, which is the typical physical characteristic for lightning release shown throughout the entire series. Even so, that doesn't mean it's the weakest. In fact, it's the second highest form of lightning transformation used in the entire franchise, and yes, that includes Boruto, which then leads me to Purple Lightning. You see, this technique has somehow gained the title of the strongest for some unknown reason, even though it's quite the opposite, or somewhat the opposite. Now, I just want to clarify that at no point in the entire franchise is it stated that Purple Lightning is stronger than Chidori, much less Raikiri, which is just a stronger version of Chidori. What's actually stated is that Purple Lightning is way more versatile, meaning that it requires less to use it, which by virtue allows you to do more with it. For any of this to make sense, we first need to understand the power behind lightning release itself, which, as I stated before, is the speed at which you're able to vibrate your chakra. With Chidori specifically, the speed at which the chakra vibrates makes it an attack with a single focus, thus making you move way too fast for you to be able to ascertain counterattacks by your opponent. So it creates somewhat of a tunnel vision effect which leaves you open to attacks. That's actually why Minato told Kakashi to never use it again, as the technique itself is unfinished. Now Kakashi, or Kakashi, I wish which one sounds better there, I don't know, but he was able to circumvent this downside after getting Obito's Sharingans due to its ability to enhance perception and predict bodily movements. This was no longer the case after the 4th Great War, since Kakashi lost that Sharingan and now only possesses 2 normal eyes, one created by Naruto's Yang power. It's actually stated in the novels themselves that he can no longer use the Chidori and has instead opted to learn new techniques in order to replace it, thus the creation of Purple Lightning. Now the reason why he can use Purple Lightning and not Chidori is for the mere fact that Purple Lightning requires you to vibrate your chakra at a slower pace, thus making the lightning chakra slower, thus also weaker. The result is that it doesn't result in the same movement speed of Chidori, thus not requiring a Sharingan to perceive the outside world. Now technically speaking, Kakashi can still use the Chidori without the Sharingan, similar to how a kid can probably use a gun but simply won't be able to use it properly. So Kakashi can choose to use it and end up getting slaughtered because of it, but he's smart so he wouldn't do that. By the way, this is also shown by Sasuke, who uses Purple Lightning on lower level villains, but when it comes to facing the big guys, he pulls out the big guns, that being Chidori or Raikiri. Now with that said, this leads us to Black Lightning, which is actually stated in the databooks themselves to be the highest form of lightning transformation. Now, as I said before, to master lightning transformation, one must learn to vibrate their chakra at the highest speed and volume to create as much lightning chakra as possible in an instant. Now, when it comes to Black Lightning specifically, this is born from refining this process to the absolute limit, increasing the frequency and intensity of the chakra vibrations to the maximum level possible. Once it reaches that peak, the chakra transforms even further and turns pitch black. It's even literally stated that in this state, Black Lightning chakra is closer to the truest form of lightning nature and overcomes its weakness to wind chakra. It's even capable of leaving flash burns and permanent nerve damage in its victims rather than temporary paralysis or pain. It also moves at speed surpassing ordinary lightning release and can even produce thunderclaps. Now I don't know if you guys read Jujutsu Kaisen, but if you do, think of Black Lightning as something akin to Black Flash. It's incredibly scarce and it's often subconsciously used for the most part. This was actually first shown by Curse Mark Sasuke in part 1 when he used his Chidori and turned it to pitch black before clashing with Naruto's Rasengan. Then later again by Sasuke himself after attaining 6 paths power, and even briefly by Kakashi after he attained Obito's 6 paths power. Now even though Sasuke used this against Madara, this was a one-time thing since he never used it again and reverted back to the normal blue Chidori, even against a stronger foe in Kaguya. This simply means that this isn't something Sasuke can frequently use as it's too difficult to use. Now there are characters within the series who are able to use this ability at will, that being Dari from the Cloud Village who learned it from the 3rd Raikage. Even then they still use it sparingly since vibrating your chakra at such high speeds constantly will of course lead to extreme fatigue and possibly damage to the nervous system. Now this of course will be similar to Naruto's Wind Star Rasengan issue which was resolved later on. Oh, and by the way, this nervous system damage issue is actually why the Raikage still use the blue lightning release in their chakra cloak instead of the black lightning, even though it would make them stronger and faster. And that's even with the added benefit of them possessing stronger bodies on a genetic level, which is actually what allows them to use the lightning cloak with such ease in the first place as opposed to everyone else. Now we have seen Sasuke use a version of the lightning cloak in Boruto against Kinshiki, Momoshiki, and Jigen, but his cloak isn't as refined as the Raikage's, which is why he uses it in brief stints and doesn't cloak his entire body. Now just to be clear, Sasuke's cloak can still be stronger and faster than theirs, but it would be because he's more skilled, but more so because his chakra is way more potent. That's actually why even though Kid Sasuke was able to briefly attain Black Lightning subconsciously, that doesn't mean that his Chidori is stronger than adult Sasuke's blue Chidori, since adult Sasuke is far stronger than Kid Sasuke. Now if Kid Sasuke was as strong as adult Sasuke, his Chidori would actually overpower adult Sasuke's blue or purple Chidori, since his chakra would be vibrating much faster, thus producing a stronger form of lightning. With that said, what I'm most excited for is the possibility of Boruto being able to consistently use Black Lightning so that it differentiates him from the other lightning chakra users in the series. That could even manifest in a version of Kirin that uses Black Lightning instead of blue, which should be possible since you're able to control natural elements using their chakra-based counterparts. This is shown by Hashirama or the first Hokage controlling or enhancing already existing plant life, Kakashi's mud wall, or even Kirin itself, which is actually Sasuke using lightning release to tame natural lightning. What Boruto could do is just take it a step further by then enhancing natural lightning with his chakra, thus creating a Black Lightning imbued Kirin, which would be absolutely insane. Now it's debatable whether this would in turn make Kirin now absorbable by someone using karma, since they normally can't absorb natural elements. Though I think it's similar to how Boruto couldn't absorb Code's claw mark since it also consisted of physical material, which is something the karma can't absorb. The same thing should then apply to Kirin in this case, since it would also consist of something the karma can't absorb, which would be natural based elements, though it would still be shrinkable by Kawaki as long as he's able to perceive it. So as you guys can see, this would actually be the pinnacle of lightning release Boruto could use, not purple lightning, which is once again due to the fact that it simply requires your chakra to vibrate faster in order to attain it, thus making you faster and stronger. Now you do have other colors such as yellow and even white lightning, but they both seem to be weaker than purple lightning since Boruto was able to break Shinki's sand with purple and not his white lightning. So using that feat alone, I guess you could come to the conclusion that white lightning is weaker than purple lightning, though I would say that you could also say that the purple lightning Boruto used wasn't Boruto's since he got it from the ninja tool. And based on what we know about the ninja tool is that someone has to create the technique, then seal it into the scroll that is then used by the tool, and the only person that would have sealed it inside this would have been Kakashi. So Boruto legit used a Kakashi level technique using Kakashi's chakra on Shinki, not his own chakra. So I don't know if you can then compare that to white lightning since means it wouldn't be a fair comparison per se. Now when it comes to yellow lightning, it seems to be the weakest and the easiest to learn since everyone has it. Like legit every single Boruto character has yellow lightning. Now of course this is kind of hyperbolic, but you know Boruto has it, we know Sarada has it, we know that Mitsuki has it. I guess that just leaves Kawaki at this point for Team 7. So it seems to be relatively easy. It seems to be this entry level technique that everyone's able to use, and even white lightning seems to be pretty like mediocre. No one makes a big deal out of it. So these two are obviously like the lower of all 4 or 5. I don't remember how much. I think it's 5. So as you guys can see, per the information provided in this video, purple lightning isn't the strongest, and if anyone ever says that it is, just ask them to simply provide that statement. And a lot of people will legit say that it's stated, and when you tell them or ask them to provide that statement, they legit can't because it doesn't exist. So if anyone ever says that to you, just simply say, can you provide me with the statement that you're referring to, and trust me, the conversation will just end there. Now they might try using a Google link where someone gives their opinion that they also believe it's the strongest and then pass it off as something stated in the series, so be careful to review what they send, okay? But yeah, blue lightning is superior to purple lightning and black lightning is the best. I would love to see Boruto use it going into the latter half of the series. But with that said, again, let me know your thoughts on the video itself. Drop a like if you like it and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.